Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the last video we talked about liquidity and liquidity ratios. In this video we're going to talk about working capital and working capital management. So working capital is a measure of a firm's short-term efficiency, financial health and liquidity. Working capital management is important to prevent a firm from any short-term liquidity crisis. In simple terms, the organized way of managing a firm's liquidity is known as working capital management. To find the capital required to run the whole business, we subtract the total liabilities from the total assets. And to know the capital required just for the day-to-day operations of the business, we subtract the current liabilities from the current assets. This gives us working capital. So you may wonder what are the benefits of a good working capital management. Number one, it enhances a firm's goodwill. If a firm is known in the market to make timely payments to its employees and suppliers, then this places the firm in a better position to bargain and negotiate with the suppliers in order to ask for greater credit line periods. Number two, it is much easier for a company with good working capital management to avail loan than a company with a bad working capital management. Number three, it ensures smooth business operations. By managing your working capital well, you can eliminate all impediments related to lack of liquidity. When the current assets of a firm are greater than the current liabilities, this means that a firm enjoys a positive working capital. This means that a firm will be able to pay off its short-term liabilities with current assets. However, a high working capital indicates operational inefficiency. This means that the funds which could have been used to earn profits is sitting idle in the bank account or is stuck up in debtors and inventories. This may improve your liquidity but can affect your profitability. But how much working capital is too much working capital? To answer this question, we have to take the average working capital ratio of the whole industry. Why the whole industry? Because working capital varies with different industries. The working capital requirement of an IT firm won't be similar to a working capital requirement of a manufacturing firm. So let's talk about a negative working capital. Whenever the current liabilities of a company are greater than the current assets, the firm is said to have a negative working capital. Now, theoretically, it is said that a company with a negative working capital must be avoided because it is going through a liquidity crisis. But ladies and gentlemen, there are few exceptions to this. So in the month of March, when I started analyzing few companies, I found out that some listed companies in the FMCG sector had consistent negative working capital and were still given super high valuations. I was very confused about this and I did my own research. I found out that while it may be imperative for a small retailer to have a positive working capital, it is not so in the case of big retail companies. Large companies with well-reputed brand names may ask the suppliers for extended credit line and greater credit limit. This increases the current liability of a company. Because of their trusted brand name, they may even ask the customers to pay upfront for the services. This also increases their current liabilities. Now understand this. These businesses generate cash so quickly that it can sell off its product to the customer before it has to pay the supplier. The idea of a negative working capital may sound very exciting to you, but let me warn you, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Only few industries can enjoy the benefit of a negative working capital. The telecommunication sector is a classic example. Firstly, the major expenditure takes place at the initial stage of the business. This includes license fee, cost of spectrum, and cost of installation. Secondly, this does not include any cost related to raw materials. Number three, the companies in this particular industry are able to collect the payment from their customers in advance with the help of prepaid packages. Ladies and gentlemen, as an investor, it is a duty to check what is the variable which is increasing the current liabilities of the company. If that particular variable is outstanding payments, then we should consider it as a red flag because this means that the company is not able to pay its short-term obligations. Therefore, we must stay vigilant. So thank you and have a nice day. I hope you liked this video. Stay tuned for more.